Performance Reviews, welcome to another vlog and welcome to another video on my FK8. And you'd see from the title, it's another Eventuri, or intake I was going to say, Eventuri system part for the FK8. Today's part is going to be the turbo tube, which is like a crossover pipe that basically goes, it's a turbo tube that goes from the turbo into the inlet and then through into the induction system and through the throttle body, and yeah, making more air go through the system. Anyway, it's obviously bigger size than the OEM model on both inlet and outlet side, if you that's what you want to call it. From one side to the other, it's bigger, it's got better flow, it's been tested. We're going to do some testing with it in time attack and before time attack. Actually, I've got a track day coming up with it, and I'm going to basically, I've got telemetry from my old data, loads of track time in the car, standard and with just a PRL intake and panel filter from K&N. So we're going to do some comparisons and tell you the actual real definitive benefits you're getting on track from that turbo tube and Eventuri system. So a whole kind of nice array of parts from Eventuri and showing you proof on track what it does for the car. But yeah, we're going to do a quick install video. I'm not going to be too thorough on it. I don't think it's too much to this. I'll talk you through what you do and then show you slowly but surely. And yeah, let's get into this and see what it feels like when it's done. The kit's all here unboxed. There's probably some stuff in here that doesn't belong. Nice heat shielding they put on these as well. But this is essentially the turbo tube, and it comes with a new intake because obviously both this side and the other side is bigger than the OEM part, so obviously it has to be the right size for that. That was the old one that I originally used before I went with the Eventuri kit as well. But yeah, let me get into this and show you. Okay, before we get deep into this, I'm going to give you a basic explanation of the things that we're going to be doing, because I think in my opinion, if you get it in your head as to what you've got to do to attack this, you'll know and be ready for what you need to take off. So essentially, this has brackets here, 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts at the top, just basically bracketry that holds this, and there's one there as well that needs to come off as well, so there's 5. You need to disconnect all of this, essentially this, and leave this loose. You can, I think you do need to take this off as well, and then this part here all comes off. It's basically held on by a bracket. One is this bolt here, and there's one more fiddly bolt. I don't know whether I can see it. Yeah, it's just kind of down there. Can you see? Just down there, that one there. Gonna be awkward. I'm gonna get a magnetic whatever you call it, lance or whatever you say, just to make sure this doesn't fall down. If you drop these have under trays, which sometimes are better and worse. I don't know, I think they're worse than not having a under tray, because it obviously falls to the floor. That being said, obviously it's designed and put on this car for a reason, and it has lots of positives. Anyway, that's that. And then there's 2 bolts on the turbo inlet somewhere. I think when we get that off, it'll be more apparent. I'll tell you about it in a sec. There's also some sensors that need to come off. This one here, and one more, I think, over that side, but obviously it's all obvious. So I don't know whether you can see the first bolt that needs to come off on the turbos there. I'm gonna let it focus. There you go, just there. And the other one is, it looks super hard. It's somewhere literally down here, and it's very hard to see. I can personally see it, but I'm trying to get an angle so you can see it. But anyway, you've got to get really creative and use an extension to get to it. Just feel it, and then yeah, you'll be able to get it off. But yeah, you'll see it as apparent. But get the left one off first, and then we'll go for that right one. Right, so these bolts have all been taken off, that one as well. Disconnected this. This obviously adjusts a bit, so I'm leaving that there. I'm just going to see how I feel about needing to move this, because there's a bolt and a location how this goes that can mean it's awkward to relocate. So I'm gonna, if I don't need to take that off, I won't, but I'll let you know how I get on with that. And the rest is all done here. I've disconnected these 2 bolts here. Fiddly, but not too bad. I think the more fiddly one is going to be this turbo bolt to the right. So we'll have a look in a minute. But yeah, all good so far. The actuator sensor, just got to disconnect that as well. And yeah, all should be easier to get to. As such, it's still going to be fiddly, like I said before. Where is it? You want one of these little bad boys, a magnetic lance, whatever you want to call it, but yeah, helps matters a little bit. Let's crack on. Everyone that knows me will know that I love a bit of weight saving, and obviously performance and weight saving, if you get it in one, it's a bonus. So anyway, I've taken off crossover pipe. I call it a crossover pipe or turbo tube, turbo pipe. This is the stock one, the Earth Dreams one. I'm going to weigh it, and then I'm going to weigh the carbon bit. Obviously, there's no point looking at ancillary parts like bolts and bits, because this is the key replacement to replacement, if that makes sense. So this is the weight. I can tell you my hand, this definitely weighs quite a bit more than the carbon fibre. So there's a weight saving on this, which is really nice. So yeah, I'll tell you what, how much it is right now. Right, so the easiest way to do it is weigh myself without it first. You're gonna see how fat I am now, how much I put on over Christmas. Let's have a look. Jeez. 76.9 or 769 should I say. Anyway, yeah, I'm childish. 769. Let's get back on. $78.30. So effectively the stock crossover weighs 1.4 kilograms. Now I'm going to weigh the carbon fibre one, and I'll tell you the savings of weight. I've got the Eventuri intake. Step on the scales. Right, let's do it one more time. I think it was 77.4. Yeah, 77.4. Yeah, effectively it's nearly a full kilogram. It's basically 0.9 kg, so pretty much 1 kg of weight saved from the car. Yeah, I know it's not a lot, you're probably not going to feel it, but if you keep taking bits off a car and getting a reduction in weight, it's going to be of benefit to the car. So look, I'm buzzing, I'm well pleased about that. 1 kilograms pretty much of weight saved. Let's carry on with the install. It's actually interesting to see the turbo. You can see just in there. Let's try and get a bit better focus on the turbine blades. There you go. It's nice to see the condition of them. There's no scoring or anything like that, so it means there's no play, which is good. But yeah, just thought I'd have a little look. Right, now Eventuri say take this plastic wiring harness cover off. It goes from here down quite low. I'm going to try and not take that off. I know it kind of gets in the way and it's a bit bulky, but the harness goes really far down onto an aircon sensor and it's quite low. It's really awkward. I don't know how they got it off. It feels like it's an engine out job. It's probably not, but it's fiddly. So I'm going to try and leave this on there and not bother using their harness cover or conduit. And I'm just going to try and pre-fit this and see if it does get in the way and if I can just use it as is. What might happen is this might just knock on the carbon tube, but I'm going to just see. I'm going to give it a go and let you know what I think. Right, so I'm now at this point. You've got to take this flange and put the stock. You've got to make sure you keep this stock gasket, put the tabs facing up towards this recess flange, and then this will go on there. You've got to have it so that actually it's quite apparent actually that goes up to that little recess. You put it on, and the tapered, can you just see a tapered finish there, just like a gradual up finish, is facing this way. And then it's just a case of getting the 2 taper screws that are provided into the 2 turbo flange bolts. This one is an absolute pig to get. You've literally got to be Harry Houdini with your fingers, and yeah, somehow you do get it in, but it's all good, it's in. And then put your second clamp on, and then start putting your turbo tube in, and then affix it, and then button up the rest. Okay, scratch what I said about the conduit. I basically ended up, it's really awkward to get to that connector down the bottom, and it's the aircon pump sensor, I think. I couldn't get to it. Don't know how. You must have to have stupidly tiny hands, and I've got quite small hands, so I don't know how you get it off. Anyway, I've removed a massive amount of the top section of that stock conduit, and I've just they do provide you actually with a conduit in the Eventuri intake, but I've just done it with electrical wire. I find you've got a lot more clearance even with this, and it's just a little bit easier to install, in my opinion. It's not that easy, but it's all good. So turbo tube to go on now. Right, so I've got everything in situ. I've got the clamp down the bottom there done up. Turbo tube is roughly in line, but loose. I'm not going to put them 4 bolts on. I'm going to try and put this on first with all the fixings, wiggle it in, get it on, and then do these up, then do that. I think let's give it a go, see what's best. Yeah, that worked, to be fair. Leave these 4 loose. Yeah, you haven't got the 5th one anymore because you don't have that bracket, so you don't need that little nub. Give these a wiggle them all on. 2 clips you've got to reuse. These 2, that up, do everything up, job done. These 2 at the back, there's these 2. This realistically is not going to go anywhere. I've put one on. I can get my hand underneath with some witchcraft. This one's well awkward, so to be honest with you, it's very strong on there. Do it nice and tight with one of those brackets. It's not going to go nowhere. Yeah, all good, job done. That's how you do it. So yeah, that's it. Like I say, it's a bit of a walkthrough stroke install video. I'm going to get some full tests on this video, on this product really soon. We're going to be having a track time, a bit of track time basically to see what kind of times we're getting. I've done numerous laps on that before it had a carbon intake, and I know what the car was doing before, so it'd be intriguing to see if we get any improvement. From what I hear, it's quite possible, but yeah, I'll let the stats hopefully do the talking. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. If you've got any questions, anything you're not sure I haven't covered or I haven't covered, hit us up in the comment section. Guys, thank you so much for watching. As always, like, share, comment, subscribe. See you again in the next one. Bye for now.